For me, I started as a coach because I'd had my own transformation with the product. And I just thought if I could help inspire or motivate one other mom, it would be worth it. And so I paid the $39.95 and signed up to become a coach. That was it. There were no challenge packs back then, no nothing. And I already had Shakeology. So I was just like, let's get started. And I didn't do a whole lot with the business right away. I just really wasn't sure how it fit in my life. And I just kind of dinked around. I sold Shakeology Hero program there, and it was nothing too formal. I had no set work schedule, no nothing. It was finally in July of 2011, so about 6 months later, that I did my first team cup with a couple other coaches and sort of hit my groove. And I ended up, I think, having the most Success Club points out of any coach on the team. And I was I think the only one that was not an Emerald coach. And that was the month I rank advanced to Emerald. And I really just took my business a little more seriously to a different level. I started reading personal development. Shocker. It worked. And I just started to realize that this business maybe had some potential beyond my very small goals when I got started, which was to make $100 a week. That was my goal when I started, was if I could make $100 a week. My first paycheck was like $83. And then they were all over the place. $27, $49, $0, $106. I mean, they were just all over the place in the beginning because I wasn't consistent. And honestly, if you ask me, the business was harder back then. There were no challenge packs for the first 11 months I was in this business. And in order to hit Success Club, you had to sign a coach every month. No ifs, ands, or buts. At least 1 or maybe 2 points had to come from a new coach sign up. So you could totally have 10 Success Club points, but if they were all from customers, you were never going to hit Success Club. So that was sort of how I got into the business. I really feel like I hit my, really started to understand this business and what I wanted to do with it. And about November of 2011, I had, it was my first month having a really huge number. I had Success Club 18, and I sort of felt like the traction moving forward. I was sending more coaches. I was more confident. I was talking to more people. And that's really when my business started to take off. It was then maybe 5 or 6 months later that I hit Diamond. I had a couple of coaches go Emerald, and I hit Diamond. And from there, I felt stuck. I mean, things were still great. I was running challenge groups, but as with anything, you want to continue to move your business forward. And I felt like I was helping my coaches get to Diamond for a long time. Something wasn't clicking. At the time, I was like, is it my training? Is it something I'm doing? Am I not teaching them right? But once I could really help them hone in on what they needed to be focusing on, I started seeing coaches start to consistently hit Diamond. And I've seen it time and time again, but that belief that just one person can do it will spark like this whole ripple effect amongst your team. And I noticed that when Bree went Diamond, Anita couldn't wait to hit Diamond. And then it was, Raina hitting Diamond, and then Rachel, and boom, boom, boom. I went from a Diamond coach to 7-star Diamond in a matter of 5 months, because the belief on my team had been born that this was doable. And we basically started to put a system into place that this business was duplicable. I could teach you what to do to hit your goals, so that you could achieve what you wanted. I mean, there were coaches out there that didn't care so much about rank, but they wanted to make a paycheck, or they just wanted to be diamond coach because that sounded really cool. And, they didn't care maybe so much about the paycheck. They just thought the business was fun. And it's something that I didn't really think about a whole lot when I first started the business. And now it's something that I talk to a lot of my new coaches and even seasoned coaches about. But I believe in coaching based on goals. I'll never push someone to achieve something that they don't want themselves. So if they don't want to work this business full time, that's okay. If they don't want to be a diamond coach, they're just in it for the discount, or they're happy at Emerald, that's okay too. If life happens and they have to pull back, that's okay. I'm never going to force my own personal goals on them. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match. Because there will always be people that are ready to run with you. But I found that if I can coach a coach on their goals, and they're willing to meet me halfway, that's when we both find success. We're both happy with what we're doing. And one other point, and I lost it. Oh, personality types. I'm big on personality types. I don't know if you guys have ever read like Personality Plus or Danny Johnson's Gems, which is what I kind of follow because I just think it's very simple. But I am one of those that is like pretty much like a true sapphire. I'm a little bit of a pearl, but sapphires like to have fun. I'm not so much about the logistics. I'm not a numbers person. I'm a little bit competitive, but I'm not like a ruby. I'm not like in your face competitive. I like to have fun. So for me, if this business is fun and it's about helping others and, we can just meet halfway and have fun in this business, I'm super happy. I'm a little pearl. So I love to feel that I'm making a difference in someone else's life. And pearls really like to work for like a greater cause. And I do kind of love that about this business. So, but there are coaches on my team who are like so numbers oriented. They're like a true emerald. They're just like numbers people. And I kind of don't get them. But I think that's where I have to realize that's their strength and perhaps my weakness, and we can learn from each other. Or coaches on my team who are rubies, super competitive, real go-getters. And sometimes their personality and my personality is they're so competitive, they take the fun out of it. They can't have any fun, which I don't relate to. I'm like, when this business stops being fun, I just wouldn't do it anymore. But they have a completely different mindset. So for me, being aware of who they are allows me to like help them and relate to them a little bit better. I can coach them on their level. But those two things have been really big for me. And then, just drilling down into my organization, I don't care if it is my personally sponsored coach or not. Last year, that was my big focus, getting personally sponsored coaches to hit, emerald, diamond, set big goals to be 2-star, 5-star, elite, that kind of thing. My big focus for this year is developing new team diamonds. So I had a personal goal for myself on personally sponsored diamonds, but I think I set a goal for either 30 or 40 new team diamonds. And that to me is like the most exciting part of this business, is that it can just expand out far beyond where you are. And it's just really cool to see other people realize that they can do exactly what you're doing. So, and to me, that's almost as exciting. I think we have 2, maybe 3 people going diamond on Thursday, and it's just kind of cool. I'm like just as proud. It's kind of fun. It's like, I'm not the mom, but I'm like, the stepmom that's like proud of all of their, accomplishments. So that is kind of where I was to where I am today. But I thought I would go over this list of questions here that Katrina sent me. So, how do you meet more people and talk to them, especially if you don't get out much? I didn't get out much. End of story. I didn't get out much. When I started, Finley was 6 months old, and I stayed home. I met people on Facebook. So when I started, I had 180 friends. So I added people I knew from high school, college, previous jobs, that kind of thing. Then I joined some groups on Facebook, meal planning moms, breastfeeding moms, stay-at-home mom type groups on Facebook. For a little bit, I played around on maybe Cafe Mom or something like that, just looking for other people that were just like me, moms, stay at home. And let's see, in my Fitness Pal. And honestly, I was on my Fitness Pal genuinely because I had been over there logging my calories for what seemed like an eternity. I already had friends over there. You know, I was just posting about my workouts, you know, my food, and just formed relationships with people. So it was all really natural. And so then it was just a matter of, you know, asking them once we would talk, hey, are you on Facebook? And most of them would say like, yeah, I'm on Facebook, like add me. You meet a couple that are just like, yeah, I don't have Facebook anymore. And I'm like, I don't understand that. But that's kind of how I got started adding people. Now it's taken a completely different turn for me in the past year just because I'm too busy to be out finding people all over the place and checking a million different websites and groups and managing all that. It's just, I don't have enough time in the day. End of story. Or I need an assistant who lasts more than 3 weeks. So I got a like page last January, and I just decided this was the route I was going to go to be able to add more people to my network and continue to meet other people just like me. I was looking for moms, wives, women who probably have kids who are near my same age range. That was it. And so I started my like page, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew that I did not want to invite the people that I already knew to my like page. It's like, that would just be dumb. I don't want to invite the same friends I already have. I think at the time I started the page, I maybe had 600 friends tops. And I thought, I'm not going to invite them. Like, what if I'm double posting? And no, I'm doing this to find a whole different set of people like me that I can talk to. So I messed around with ladders a little bit. I don't know if you guys know much about ladders, but basically I found it a huge time suck. And that was like not the point of me doing this. So I ended up paying for ads. End of story. I was just like, I'm going to start paying for ads. I ran little 4 or 5 day campaigns to see what would happen, and I started getting likes. And it slowly built from there. I don't run huge ad budgets by any means, but through, you know, posting a myriad of different things, you know, recipes, fit tips, motivational stuff, workout ideas, you name it, it's created a community of other women that share my stuff, that like it, and maybe their friends see it and come like it. And continuously running the ads has helped me keep my reach high. And it's something that I do now. I basically set a 30-day ad budget. And so I have ads that run for 30 days. And that way Facebook is maximizing my ad budget for me. I tell most of my new coaches that feel like they have exhausted their warm market to start by doing something like that. And most of them start with like a $30 a month budget. So basically $1 a day. And I have had coaches be pretty successful doing that. But I think the biggest thing, if you're going to do it, is you still have to let you come through. So if you're on my like page, you can tell. I love fashion. I like leopard. I like workout shoes. I like fun family recipes. I post motivational stuff. There's a little bit of everything. I post about challenge groups. I post about coaching. That stuff's still in there. And I think that translates, because when I then bring people over to my like page, they're like, it's still the same girl. She just posts more about her family and, that kind of stuff. So be you, but you have to be on a like page. You have to be even more consistent. You have to be posting 5 times a day. You can schedule all of that, of course, which is so nice on the like page. I was gone all day, so I could easily schedule my entire day out. But I tell my coaches 9, noon, 3, 6, 8 or 9, and then 11 o'clock at night. No fail. Like every single day, except for maybe the weekend. You can cut back a little bit. But that is what's helped me grow. I think I'm now over 11,000 likes. It's just kind of crazy, but I have met like almost every single one of my 21-day fix challengers came from my like page. That's it. And I had, I don't know, 20 of them. And I didn't know most of them before like 2 weeks ago. So, and even tonight, like I'm getting friend requests rolling in because I posted something about my dinner and they're interested in the program. And I guess I'll touch on that in the next one. But does that help? Any questions on meeting people? It's scary. Like in the beginning, I was like, strangers? I got to talk to people I don't know? That's scary. But I soon realized that I was not looking to meet scary men on Facebook. I was just looking to meet women and moms just like me. And they have husbands and they have kids and they post cute pictures. And I was like, we're like the same. You live somewhere else and we're friends on Facebook. And that is how I've met the majority of my coaches. And that's how I've been able to, find these challengers. And your biggest asset is being able to build a relation with someone like that. The faster you can build a relationship with them, you're golden. And when I have conversations with people, it's not scripted. I mean, I may give my coaches a script to follow and something that sounds good, but make it your own. I mean, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you messaged me, girl, ! Happy face. Like, do what feels like you. If you're not happy face, don't put them in there. And I always feel like I meet people both ways. If they respond, excited, happy face, ! I match their energy level in my message back. And a lot of people, if they have questions or something, I'm like, let's get on the phone and chat. Let me answer that stuff for you really fast. Because typically when they get on the phone with me, I become a little more real, right? It's like a webinar. I'm a little more real. I'm not like some crazy lady sitting behind a computer. I'm a real person now. We're having a conversation. So I think the faster you can build relationships with people on your like page or your personal page, the better. And I was actually talking to a coach about this today, but I said, the more active you are on your page, commenting back, tagging people, asking them a question. Like if I post something about, look at these awesome Nike shoes, and someone's like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. Where'd you get them? It's so easy to just respond back and be like, Katie, I just ordered them on Nike ID. You've got to go check them out. Let me know what you think. It may seem like so simple. Maybe she would never even see that notification. But because she's interacting with my page and I'm interacting back, she's now going to see the stuff on her newsfeed even more often. And the chance that she maybe says something again and I comment back to her, now we start to form a little dialogue. And before I know it, I got a message in my inbox saying, I've been meaning to message you. I want to learn more about the 21-day fix, coaching, or whatever it is. Okay, so how have you found is the best way to make social media work for you? I kind of just covered that, didn't I? The only other thing I will say is pick one or two. So like if you're on Facebook or Instagram, or you're on YouTube and Facebook, pick one and do it really well. And I tell all of my new coaches that if you're already on Instagram, that's fine. But if you're on Facebook and you're half-assing it, get good at that before you go and add something else to the mix. I gave all of my diamond coaches, or my coaches working towards, earning a full-time income this year, the goal of picking another avenue out there on social media. So if you were on Facebook, go pick Instagram, or go pick YouTube, or go find a way to use Pinterest, or start a blog. But don't do all of them half-ass. Just go do one or two real good. And I think for any new coach, for me, I train them on Facebook first, because I think if you have that down, that's your vehicle to move your business forward, it's easy to throw in something else next. So that's my biggest social media tip, is do one really well before you just start putting everything out there. How I explain the benefits of a challenge pack. So for me, challenge packs are just sort of a non-negotiable. Like, I don't even suggest a program by itself, like, ever. Like, I think most of my customers just believe that the challenge pack is the only option they have. It's not that they don't. Some have Shakeology, and then they have Pump, but now they want Combat, or they have Chalene Extreme and now they want Turbo Fire. That's fine. If they're not on Shakeology, I talk to them about the benefits of that. But for me, like the 21-day fix, I didn't sell any kits by themselves. All of mine were challenge packs. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. If you wanted into my group, that's how I explained it. $140, you get the program, a bonus DVD, you get the portion control containers, you get free shipping, 30 days of Shakeology, a free shaker cup, a spot in my group, and me as your coach. And I didn't have one person say, I'm not going to do it because of money. They're all like, whoa, that sounds like an awesome deal. Can I have a spot in your group? Yes, you can. So I think it's, one, how you present it. Two, the confidence you come across. Three, I get them too. I have to go ask my husband. We can't afford it till payday. I can't afford it right now. And that's fine. I never pressure anyone to buy something that they're not ready to invest in, because if they're not ready to invest, guess what? They're not ready to invest in the results either. I want challengers who are ready. So if I get any of those objections, it's usually like, okay. Well, it's more like, okay, girl, sounds good. I completely understand. I've been there before. And I've had a couple of different situations in the past month. And I just sort of feel it out based on the conversation we've had. I have a girl who told me she had no money. But she really, really, really wanted to do it. And I said, well, I just had this girl who said, I am going to afford this no matter what. I'm going to go sell some stuff on Craigslist and I will be back. And I said, all right. And probably like about 30, 40 minutes later, she messaged me and she's like, I've already sold one coach bag. I've got $60. And she's like, I have $60 more to go to be able to afford this challenge bag. It's like, awesome. So I shared this with this other girl, Danny, who really, really wanted to do it but didn't have the money. I said, I have another challenger who's like off selling old purses and stuff she doesn't want on Craigslist and Facebook to make her money for a challenge bag. I'm like, you could do something like that. And she's like, oh my gosh, totally. That's what I am doing. And same thing, like an hour later, she's like, all right, I already sold something. She's like, I'm going to get all my money to buy my challenge back. So you can give people ideas and options like that. Um, but when in doubt, I either tell people about coaching. If I feel like they're already into health and fitness, they're really passionate about helping others, just from our conversation, they seem like they would be a really good coach, or just from, getting to know them online. Or we might have that conversation, at least plant that seed about coaching. But if it's not right for them right now, I just always let them know I'm not going anywhere. I will be here. Let me know if March would work better for you. You'd have, 5 weeks to save, or whatever the time period is before your next challenge group. Would something like that work for you? And 9 times out of 10, they come back and say, yep, that would work. March 3rd will work perfect for me. And I just let them know. I say, all right, I will follow up with you on February 24th or 20, what is it? Yeah, 24th this month. And I will get you the details then. And almost always they're like, sounds good. I can't wait to hear from you. And that's it. There's no forcing, there's no pushing, there's no nothing. Because I just feel like, if you're honest and upfront, and we're going to be here in a year or several months anyway, I don't need to push anyone to do anything. I want to work with people that are ready right now. And the people that do have true money objections but really do want to do this will be back. And they will follow you, and you post awesome pictures of your 21-day fix, and all of a sudden they're like, I really want to still do that. And it's that good little reminder that, like, you can put away, 10 or 20 bucks a week. So, but I mean, I always relate to them, and that whole, I saved all my Christmas money to buy Chalene Extreme, or I put Shakeology on a credit card. It didn't make sense. Logically, at the time, it was probably very dumb, but I wanted the change more than I wanted the excuse. And, that was the end of it for me. So I feel like I can always relate to them on that level and just be honest with them. I'm always honest with them and sharing little stories with them. As I think, well, Tommy Migrant's like famous line, I mean, facts tell, stories sell. And, I just talked to my team about this today. Tell your story. People relate to you and what you've done. The more you can make this about you and your journey and inviting people to join you means more than anything. I'm always like yelling. I'm like, stop posting stuff like stock photos from Beachbody. Like, if I see one more stock photo, I'm going to kill you. So, might sound a little harsh, but that's the biggest thing I can do. They don't care about your stock photo. Take a picture of you doing the workout. Take a picture of you sitting by your mailbox waiting for your 21-day fix to come. That is more interesting. And some of that is just the fear of taking photos of yourself or whatever. But the faster you're willing to get over that and just do it, the better. Because I will tell you, for the longest time, I would post on Facebook and put stuff on Facebook and pictures, and I would type stuff up, and not many people would comment or like. And I just thought, no one is watching. Why am I doing this? And, the same 2 people would like it. I'm just like, yeah, all right, well, we'll see how this goes. But all of a sudden, it started, it really started to change, and people started coming to me, and I was starting to get personal messages. And that's when I really noticed the biggest change in my business was like, all right, like, at least they're watching. They may not be commenting or liking, but they're watching. And that was the biggest leap for me to get over in posting about coaching. I was so worried about what everyone else was going to think. I was a Beachbody coach, salesy, that was network marketing, and that felt sleazy, and I was in a pyramid scheme. And I just had to get over that. And you do too. End of story. All right. So books that I've read that helped me to be successful. I wrote them all down because there's a long list, and I have like book ADD. I have like a nightstand full and a coffee table full, but I find that I like to read the book that is going to fill me up that day. Some days I just wake up feeling like I could be a better leader, or I could run a better challenge group, or I should be a better mom. And so I try to pick the book that morning that's going to fill me up. So the first book I ever read was The Compound Effect. I do love it if you haven't read it. I am having a lot of, like, basically once you hit Emerald, you read GoPro, end of story. I was like, just start reading GoPro. It's a book I really like. Go for No, I think, is a good one for any new coach that's struggling. Start. If you cannot get moving in your business, read Start by John Acuff. I really liked that one. The Magic of Thinking Big. It was not the easiest book for me to read, but I did like good little bits out of it. Failing Forward is another good one. I Love Anything by John Maxwell. And then Tribes by Seth Godin. I really like Tribes. It's the first book that I really read on like leadership and, a team and building a team that like really connected with me on what I should have been doing. I read it on the way home from Atlantis, and I was just like, the entire time, I think my husband was like, what are you doing? But I liked that one. And then I'm just big into Tony Robbins right now. Just read Awaken the Giant Within. I'd love to go see him live, so that's kind of on the bucket list for next year. And then two other ones. The 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. I read that book and just like ate it up. I think I highlighted the whole thing. I even go back and reread it on certain days that I just need to move forward. And then in the beginning, just because I knew nothing about leadership. I mean, leadership is a choice. It's a choice you make in leading your team. And I really liked Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. And it's a book that I still read, and he has tons of books on leadership. There are not a lot of books on leadership out there. There are things on how to be successful and, how to build your business and how to be a better network marketer. But at the end of the day, you're leading people. You're teaching people to do what you do. So for me, anything on leadership has just been awesome because I can pass that on to my team. So that's kind of what I had prepared. I think we have 5 minutes left?
Exactly 5 minutes.
So, anything else?
Do you guys have any questions at all? No. Are you boosting your personal or your like page posts?
Like page, although I don't boost, really. I don't boost it.
You just do an ad.
Mm-hmm. I just run straight up ads for getting likes on my like page. And I have a YouTube account. I do have some training videos on there. I need to upload about 100 more, but I have put some videos on there on how I basically place my ads. It's training for my team, so
that's helpful. Anyone else have any questions at all before we get cut off?
I know my Zoom's always cut off on my coaches. I'm in the middle of talking and boom, there I go. I'm I'm gonna have to pay for the upgrade.
Anyone at all? All right. Well, thank you, Leslie. I really appreciate you doing this, and hopefully it recorded.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Did you record it?
Yeah.
Did it work?
I hope it worked.
Yeah, so it'll just download when you're done, and you hit the stop, and it'll download to your computer, and then you'll have the file to upload or do whatever with it. So
great. Well, we'll hope it works then.
Well, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you again, Leslie.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Night, guys.